welcome to Jokerz Wild Comedy Series podcast, and I'll be your host, Kenny Williams. I'm sitting here with one of our comedians for Jokerz Wild Comedy Series, Josiah Jones. Do you put the B? Do you read it all out?
I put the B on there just for exclusivity. I want to be exclusive.
Okay, ain't too many black folks, Josiah. Right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, hey, how long you been on the journey?
Been on the journey 5 years. I've been in ministry 20 years, and I've been doing comedy 5 years. So I transitioned.
Wow. Okay, you can't just put the ministry and just to the side. So were you doing that? So the ministry with comedy?
Actually, I wasn't. I was doing straight ministry, running revivals. I'm actually a national evangelist, so I went all over the country preaching the gospel, and I got to a point where I just got tired of talking to the same people. I'm like, I need a different audience.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, I'm already funny a little bit, but it was frowned upon in the institutional. You don't joke with Jesus.
Yeah.
It's serious. And I'm like, but Jesus got a sense of humor. And I went to a comedy club one night, and I said, can I go up? And they said, yeah. And I just talked about my life. And my wife, my kids, my mama, they started laughing. I says, wait a minute. This ain't a church.
Yeah.
But it's my new pulpit, and I've been running ever since.
Wow. Okay. Where you from?
Detroit, Michigan.
Okay.
Yes,
Detroit.
sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, they need a lot of ministry.
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. We bringing it back. We bringing it back. I tell people, don't believe all what you hear about Detroit.
So, because of ministry and this whole thing and I'm gonna ask you, there's clean gospel, and they say secular and what have you. What is the difference?
I believe it is. I tell people all the time, because majority of my shows are mainstream clubs and not churches. I tell people I'm a Christian that happens to do comedy. So I'm not a Christian comedian. I have no Mary Had a Little Lamb jokes. I have no Jesus on his way on a donkey jokes. All my jokes are practical applications without using profanity. And so that which the society or clubs have labeled me a clean comedian, because I don't curse or use gratuitous language, but I just talk about practical things without profanity. So I fall in the category of clean comedy.
Okay. So how did your family take it when you made this journey with it?
My grandma, she was absolutely confuddled. She said, wait a minute, baby, ain't you a preacher? So you about to trade in your Bible for a clown suit? I said, that ain't what I do. I ain't gonna wear no nose. Nah, this ain't what God wants. You gotta win the souls. I said, Grandma, I'm winning them. I'm gonna be a light in the nightclub. She, that's foolishness. You gotta go sit down somewhere. Did God tell you to do that? I said, no, Grandma, it's another audience. And she like, go pray again. And my mama, she was like, well, you a fool anyway. I says, ain't nobody you crazy anyway, go ahead. But I got the biggest pushback from my religious institution. They literally told me, they said, I had just did a revival, man. 30 souls got saved. I prayed for people. And the administration came to me and they said, listen, we don't want you out there, because I was touring with some secular comedians that was really like cutting edge. They were really blue. I tour with Michael Collier. We do a lot of shows, and he tell them all the time, I ain't clean. I say, he gonna be clean for both of us. And when they saw a video, this is the funniest thing, they saw a video of me on tour, and they saw the comparison and contrast. And so they literally told me, they said, you can't be anywhere where they serve alcohol. I said, wait a minute, Bishop, are you telling me I can't be nowhere where they serve liquor? He said, yes. I said, well, y'all just might as well throw the Last Supper away. I said, Jesus drunk wine. I said, I'm sorry. And so they said, see, there you go, being funny again. I said, what do I do? They said, you have to make a choice. You either got to decide whether you're going to do ministry or you're going to do comedy. You can't serve two masters. And when they gave me that ultimatum, I ended up leaving my church and went to another ministry. And I let the bishop know when I joined. I said, listen, God has called me to make people laugh, make them listen, and let them see the love of God through a different vessel. Because you see into church, there's a million people that have never come to church, and I'm the only church they'll see. And I said, this is what I do. And he says, go ahead and just be a light. And 5 years later, I'm still here.
Wow. And because you talk about, I know Collier, but this is interesting. Like, do you feel uncomfortable with certain, like you just came off, you just did a
Don't
weekend
do
with, I'm gonna say it because I reached out to him because I wanted him to be part of Jokerz Wild Comedy Series. Come on, TK Kirkland.
It was rough. None of my church members came. They literally because they Googled him. They Googled and they told, what you doing? Wait a minute, he say the B word. Wait a minute, is that the man who talking about who raised you? I said, yes, that's him. I said, I'm not you. Wait a minute, how long it's gonna be? It's a 90-minute show. Oh no, what is you doing? And there were moments in which I had to go outside of my car and pray, but it's the nature of the business. I mean, I took the job. We did 7 shows. There was complete success. He came up to me and he was like, he was calling me pastor after the 3rd show, like, hey, pastor, how you doing? And he was giving me a fist bump saying, hey, good set. And he went up there and did his thing, and I just made the adjustment. It was a shock for me because it was totally different. I was usually when I'm doing church shows, I'm the headliner. I'm the last person you hear. And so if a person come and they see me for 20 minutes featuring, but yet it's a polar opposite, sometimes it's like a flash shot. And you're like, wait a minute, that's not Josiah. And it's like, no, don't expect it. And that's why I like it, because I was able to, even being on stage, because my last 30 seconds of all my shows, I tell people, God loves you no matter where you are, what you're doing. It's not the Hennessy in your hand, but the love that's in your heart. And TK got to hear that. And so I just wanted to plant the seed and just leave it there. And so it's been a blessing. So I just gravel at the opportunities when comedians call me that are blue comedians and they say, hey, I want you to open. And it's funny because a lot of people don't know I'm a clean comedian. So they'll ask, you don't cuss, do you? I want you to cuss. Don't talk about sex. Don't talk about that. And I'm like, yes, sir. When I get up and say, wait a minute, you ain't do none of that. I said, because I'm naturally clean. Yeah. So it's been a blessing, man. I love it. I love it.
I got to ask you because I'm a married dude. So the
Yes,
one
sir.
person we didn't ask about the transition as far as with the wife.
My wife, in the beginning, she was very, we had to get some marriage counseling.
Wow.
We had, because I went from, she saw the man. She saw me traveling to a ministry. She would go with me. And then when I took her a couple of my shows in the club, it kind of made her uncomfortable because she was raised in church all her life. She's Jesus' niece. When I tell you, if I don't make it to heaven because of she there, it's a problem. She's going to pray us through. And it was rough because she's like, you have so much ministry in you. I was in the process of writing a book, and my book was about being estranged from my father and not having this insight, saying my book is called Daddy Left, But God Stayed. And she was like, what about the book? And I'm like, it's going to happen. I'm on the road. I'm making money. I'm paying bills, woman. I'm doing giggly stuff, and they giving me money.
Yes.
And so she's just like, oh. So we went through counseling, and the marriage counselor said something very, very, it was an eye-opening experience. He asked my wife, he says, if you believe that this is what God has called Josiah to do, can you agree to it? And she says, honey, if this what you believe God put in your heart to do, I'm with you. Before, she just thought I was out here playing. I was out here vacationing, just getting away from her. And you know how sometimes when you married, and I've been married 13 years, so she thought I done got the itch. You trying to go see somebody else? Yeah. I said, no, you the only one I'm looking at. Yeah. Or the only one I'm looking at that I won't. Because if you see other stuff, you look at stuff out there. It's out there. Yeah. It is lion, tigers, and bears out there.
Oh my.
I be hiding in my green room. I said, take me back to the hotel. You going to the after party? I can't go. No. Why? Because there's 18 bosoms out there. 18. I counted them. They want to get the preacher. They can't get me. I'm not laying hands on nobody at this. I'm going back to the room.
Brother, man, I look forward to you, man. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. Thank you for coming through, man. Ladies and gentlemen, give you Josiah B. Jones.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And this has been Jokerz Wild Comedy Series. I'm Kenny Williams.